Welcome to episode 255 of the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm looking at the New Orleans Saints versus the Chicago Bears, number 2 seed in the NFC. New Orleans Saints finishing at 12-4, I believe, and then we got the Chicago Bears finishing at a lousy 8-8, sneaking into the playoffs at the 7th seed, taking the last spot of the playoffs, bumping the Arizona Cardinals out. What I really expect in this matchup is I expect the Bears to go home and Drew Brees and the Saints to move on. Drew Brees is easily just a better team than the Chicago Bears. There's not a really lot to say in this matchup, in my opinion, especially since the New Orleans Saints are getting Michael Thomas back. We all know Michael Thomas last year was arguably the best receiver in the NFL, and really he still could be. It's just that we haven't seen him a lot this year due to suspensions and injuries. I expect him to still be the same player. I'm not sure he'll have the same impact right away and directly into the Saints offense, but he will definitely have some sort of presence and impact on their offense 100% in some kind of way. I could see them, if the Saints make a deep run into the NFC Championship, into the Super Bowl, Michael Thomas, we see him becoming one of the best receivers in the NFL pretty quickly right away. While the Bears do have talent, I do think Mitch Trubisky gets a bad rap. Do I think he's great? No. Do I think he's good? No. Do I think he's average? No. I think he's a below average quarterback? Yes. But for people to think he's complete dog shit, doesn't think he should be in the league, just complete shit on him, I don't really think he deserves that. I think even if he's the worst quarterback in the NFL, he's still the 32nd best quarterback in the world. You have to consider it. Think about it from that perspective. He still has some talent in him, or else he wouldn't have been drafted, or else he still wouldn't have a starting job, or else he still wouldn't be heading to the playoffs right now. Like I said, not a fan of him. I don't think he's good by any means, but I don't think he's completely worthless also. Then the offense, Allen Robinson, I think is having his entire pretty much youth and prime wasted amongst bad teams between the Jaguars and now the Bears. David Montgomery in the backfield is not too bad, but I think Allen Robinson definitely needs to leave the Bears this offseason. However, he can be a weapon for this game for sure, and he's probably going to be Mitch Trubisky's number one target. Jimmy Graham, we know, still have a great presence. He's definitely out of his prime, but still a big name and a big target for Mitch Trubisky to throw to. Then on the defense, we all know about Khalil Mack used to be one of the best defenders in the league, if not still a top 5, top 10 guy. I think he's kind of dropped back a little bit for sure. His first year in the Bears was definitely his best, 100%. He's definitely dropped down, but like I said, still Khalil Mack, still dominant, still going to get pressure on Drew Brees and have an impact. But I don't think between Allen Robinson, Jimmy Graham, Khalil Mack being your 3 biggest stars pretty much. Yeah, there's some other guys on the defense that are definitely great. Eddie Jackson, of course. But you know what I mean? Just those couple of stars that have big names and big presences aren't going to be enough to take down the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome, in New Orleans, in Drew Brees. This is his final year. He's going to play with his absolute heart out. I think Sean Payton's definitely going to outcoach Matt Nagy. Like I said, Bears have talent, but to think they're going to take him serious and think they're actually going to knock out the New Orleans Saints in the playoffs is pretty ridiculous, in my opinion. Looking at the Saints, like I said, you got Michael Thomas. Of course, you got Drew Brees. Then you got Alvin Kamara. His last game, he had 6 touchdowns on Christmas Day in Week 16 in the NFL. He missed Week 17 due to COVID. Hopefully, he's back for the wildcard round. Even if he's not, I still think the Saints will be fine. Drew Brees' favorite target is Alvin Kamara, so that will definitely affect him, but the game plan will be fine. I'm sure Michael Thomas being back will definitely keep the game plan just fine. They didn't have Michael Thomas or Alvin Kamara in Week 17, and they beat the Carolina Panthers 33-7. Not to say the Carolina Panthers are comparable to the Chicago Bears, but it still shows the Saints could put up 33 points without their 2 biggest stars on offense. Then, of course, along further into the offense, you got Emmanuel Sanders and Jared Cook, definitely creating separation and spreading out the field between Sanders, Cook, and Michael Thomas. There's a receiver for Drew Brees everywhere, along with Alvin Kamara catching a lot of passes out of the backfield. Drew Brees has receivers on his team and guys who could catch the ball and make plays and get the ball down the field, on the ground, and in the air. Haven't even looked at the defense. Cam Jordan, can't even think of his name on defense. You got Marcus Williams, but Marshawn Lattimore, that's who I'm thinking of. Great corner. Marcus Williams is great in the secondary himself, but I definitely think Marshawn Lattimore is pretty much the leader of that secondary. I think everyone would agree with that. Janoris Jenkins as well. Saints team is just a really stacked roster. Like I said, not a whole lot to say. They just easily outmatch the Chicago Bears, and it all really comes down to some of your biggest factors being Saints having a better head coach, better quarterback, better running back, better receiving core. Defense, you can really pick and choose. I would personally think the Saints defense is better just because it's under Sean Payton rather than Matt Nagy. I don't think Matt Nagy's a bad coach, but I'm definitely going to roll with Sean Payton coaching the defense rather than the Chicago Bears coach, Matt Nagy. Both defenses are well-rounded, and really, if they had the same coach, you really couldn't go wrong with each defense, but I like the Saints defense just a little bit better, like I said, because of the coaching staff that is behind them. Easily why I like the Saints to win this game, in a dominant game, and I don't even know if it'll be close. I could definitely see New Orleans Saints winning 30-14. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. How far do you think the New Orleans Saints will go in the playoffs? I think they could possibly, if they could get past, obviously if they could get past the Buccaneers, the Saints will go to the Super Bowl, but it's really going to be interesting to see once they get to Green Bay, how will they do there. That's the biggest test for them, going to be Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers and Lambeau. That's going to be interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. 2-minute warning.